Hi, thank you for joining me today, and I'm so glad that you wanted to hang out with me for a little bit. Today, this video is going to kick off a series based on the self-love workbook I created that has 10 exercises in there to help you begin practicing self-love. So the video today is going to explain what self-love means and the things you need to know in order to get started to practice. I'm going to be with you every step of the way and helping you work through the different exercises and just kind of give you a little bit of support. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I know all too well how hard it can be to want to start to practice self-love, especially if you come out of a relationship or in a relationship that's unhealthy or abusive. It can be it can seem like something really overwhelming or difficult, but I want you to know you're worth it, and we can get through this together. So stay with me and let's get started. Hi, my name is Shena, and thank you if it's your first time joining me today. I'm happy that you showed up, and for those of you who've been with me, I appreciate you coming back. I'm a speaker and a life coach, and I'm here to help you learn to love yourself so you can build confidence, find value, and also just continually be practicing self-love. So if that sounds good, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel so we can keep learning together and growing together on this self-love journey. Okay, so as promised, let's get started breaking down the meaning of self-love. And I want to do that by giving you the definition of the word love just by itself. So I checked out the Webster's Dictionary and some other sources, and the word love actually means, and I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm going to look down, it's having a deep, committed, constant affection or approval of another. So if you take that definition and put the word self in front of it, you're saying that when you love yourself, when you practice self-love, you have a deep, strong commitment, constant and continual affection or approval towards yourself. So you're giving these things to yourself. A deep, strong, committed, constant affection or approval of yourself. That's what it means to love you and to practice self-love. Now there's two words in there that I want us to focus on. The first one is affection and the second one is approval. When you look at the word affection, you're saying that word is actually speaking to you, saying you're caring, you are nurturing, you're kind, you're tender. That's what the word affection brings up. A tender, caring, nurturing, kind person. So when you're practicing self-love, you're showing and giving yourself that affection, and you're treating yourself kindly. You're nurturing yourself. You're caring about yourself, okay? And these are some really, really good words that you can keep in mind all the time as you're considering yourself and loving yourself. The other important word was approval. So a lot of things have happened to us in some cases based on abuse or unhealthy relationships where we don't approve of ourselves. We don't approve of choices we made or decisions we've made. But when you're loving yourself, you approve of you based on what the word love means. So you're not going to put yourself down. It doesn't mean that you're not going to look at yourself differently. You're going to approve of every part of you, even the parts that you want to fix and change. And that's what the self-love journey is about, learning what's not working and what is working and making improvements on yourself so you can just start loving yourself more and more. Okay, so now we're at the point in the video where I want to talk about some things you need to start forming some beliefs around in order to begin practicing self-love. That'll make it a little easier for you, hopefully. So there's 5 of them, and the first one is you need to love and accept yourself just how God created you. Just that simple. He created you perfectly. You are fearfully, wonderfully made. God can't make mistakes, so who you are is who He created you to be. And that's a person who loves themselves because God loved you and had you in mind and put you here on this earth for a purpose and a reason. So the first thing is just accepting who God created you to be. The second thing is you have to start taking responsibility for your emotional and mental and physical needs. Start taking responsibility for your own life. The third thing is understanding that when you practice self-love, you're not being selfish. When you practice self-love, you're deciding and you're choosing to begin to have a voice and to discover who you are. Okay, so it's not being selfish, taking this time to learn to love yourself. The fourth thing is you have to have a deep desire and want to understand who you are and what you're going to allow and not allow in your life going forward as you start this self-love journey. So begin to decide what you're going to allow and not allow in your life. And the fifth thing is when you start practicing self-love, you can't look on the outside of you to help heal some things that are going on the inside of you. You have to figure out that you're worthy and valuable in and of yourself, not based on what other people are saying or doing or not doing. So these are 5 very important things, beliefs that you should start forming, hopefully, to get your self-love journey started. In the workbook, there's a pre-exercise that's laid out in there for you. Because in order to get to this place, there's some things that have probably happened in your past or even as far back as your childhood that you've got to begin to identify so that you can start to move past those things. You can acknowledge them and letting them go. So that's what the pre-exercise in the workbook is going to help you do before you jump into those 10 exercises. So again, go ahead and download that workbook right now. Pause the video if you haven't. Take a minute to do that. Download the workbook because this journey is going to be one of the best things you could choose to do for yourself as you begin to practice self-love and what it is, and learning what it is to love yourself. Okay? So again, I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited for this series. And remember, I'm going to be here with you every step of the way as I break down the 10 exercises in the workbook as you're going through them. So I'm excited, and I hope you are too. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. You can go on my website, shenamajor.com, and on my contact page, and just shoot me an email if you have any questions along the way. I'm here for you, and I'm ready, and I'm just excited about my self-love journey, your journey, and just what we're going to accomplish together. So always remember that true healing begins with self-love. See you next time.